Hello everybody and welcome back to Purple Plays, the Misadventures of Tron Bonne. And my PS3 is snapping like a jazz club. In the last episode, we finished off Tech Harbor and... wait, did we finish off Tech Harbor? I think we did. If not, then I think all we did was go to the Nakai ruins. Or maybe we did both. I don't remember. It's been like over a day. And I forgot to look back at the last part to make sure that it's even operating right. I need to stop being so careless. But anyways, in this part, let's see, I think also in the last part we showed off course 2 of the training, which is the speed course. I wanted to show off real quick that I got almost all the surf bots to max speed, with the exception of number 3 and number 7, because they have the highest tier of speed, and I cannot complete it because I suck. But then again, I'd like to see anyone else try on their first try. But that's beside the point. Point is that I got their speed to as high as needed, or that I'm comfortable with. And before we get to the meat of this part, I just wanted to correct myself on one thing, and this is the high score tab. Sorry, I thought I saw something. In the high score tab, I said that it was just the same thing as the training tab. It's just like a beat your high score thing. It's not completely true. If you go to the high score tab, it literally just tells you what the high score is for what levels and what rounds. I've only played level 2 and level 3 of course 1, and then it says try to beat your high score, and then for here it gives all the rounds for level 1, level 2, and level 3, which I'm not even going to try level 3 because it's just so hard. But yeah, so it's basically just a record placement thing. So with that all set, oh, I do remember one thing. In the last part, we actually bought a whole bunch of stuff for the Gustav. And yeah, so much that I don't really have anything else. You can talk to everybody and see what they want, but yeah, see, it's like, how's the bazooka, how's the Gatling gun? They don't want anything from this point on, so their mission's fulfilled. Number 34 though still has use for some parts. Same thing with number 30 and number 33, but we don't have anything to give, I don't think. No, we can give brain cubes and comics, but nothing right now, so that'll do. So in this part, what we're going to do is we're going to start one of the regular action missions, which is one of my favorite levels, and we're going to start the cave. So before I do that, I'm going to talk to Surfbot number 35 and change the color of the Gustav. We're gonna go with the let's go with should we go with the cute look? I can go with the villain. I'm gonna go with the villainous look. I'm gonna show off all the colors, and then I'm just gonna stick with the ones that I like the most. I just want to show them all off without having to go to the lab and back. Show them all off in action. So I'll just send some surf bots on scouting. Who could benefit from some scouting? Can anyone? Well, you two could, since you guys aren't doing anything. Again, getting sent to the Shalika ruins. I want to send people out with high brains. Gonna send you out. You'll go to the casino town. And number 39 could go. go to Tech Harbor. Why not? Wait, no. I want him to go to the Nakai Desert. And I'll conclude that. So let's go on that mission. So we're gonna start off with the bank. I do have access to 2 new weapons, but I'm not going to use them for this mission. So I'm just gonna show off. First off, this is the color of the Gustav, the villainous look. It looks evil. But when you use the Gustav from now on and you have other weapons, you can change what weapons from this part. And this is why I've been calling it the Search Cannon, because that's what his name is. This is the Search Cannon. It has a tracking function, making it easy to use. The tracking function means that, as far as I'm aware of, that the shots actually home in on enemies and targets. Which it does, it's just not hard. It's just not easy to notice. Not really, anyways. It might be noticeable in a later stage. This is the Gatling gun. It can fire multiple shots at once. No different from the Search Cannon, but what it means is that it can fire at a rapid rate, like a whole bunch of shots. And then the bazooka. It's a lot stronger than the cannon. If you want firepower, use this. So if you want like maximum firepower, this is the gun for you. Thinking about I want to actually use it for this mission, but I think I'll just stick with the Search Cannon. And then let's see, keeping number 1 as the sniper. And now we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 10, 13. And I might just keep them where they are because none of them have max brains. So I'm gonna keep them. And the details. This time we're going after the bank in Gold City. We're not going to bother with any tricks. We're going to land right in front of the bank and bust in. Alright, Miss Tron, we'll scout out the area for you. I'll tell you what to do with beacon bombs. Your job is to break into the bank and get all the money inside. Yes, Miss Tron. Miss Tron, what robot are you going to use for this mission? For this mission, I'm going to use the Gustav. You'll use the weapons on the Gustav to stop anyone who gets in our way. Alright, let's go. Aye aye, Miss Tron. And that's the details. Let's begin.
Let's get what we came for and get out of here before the police show up. Is this the bank? All right, open the doors. Yes, Miss Tron. It's full of dogs. Wait a minute. This isn't the bank. Oops, sorry. The bank's in the next town over. Way with you! Whenever I ask you to do something... Sorry. No, never mind. Call the truck and tell them to pick us up. Come in, truck. We need a pickup, over. Miss Tron, they say they'll be here in 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes, huh? Well, maybe the trip won't be a total waste. Grab what you can. Miss Tron, I found some valuables at the animal hospital. Okay, good going. All right, listen up. We're not leaving until we get 50,000 zenny, okay? Roger.
New plan. Use beacon bombs to target the buildings and have Serbots steal what's inside. Your goal is to collect 50,000 zenny. And this is the only mission where you actually have a timer. So, and also this is the first time that we actually have a little brief, because in the beginning we didn't have one because it's the intro stage. And Akai Desert doesn't give one because it's a free stage. But anyways.
Mission start.
Okay, so the thing about this is that, well, first I recommend blowing up the animal hospital. Sorry for all the cats and the dogs.
What's that? Looks like a statue of someone. Whoever it is, we're taking it. Roger!
I believe that's the vet from earlier. Gotta watch out for cars. And then enjoy this lovely scene right here. And that's basically what they do in every house. They're not going to show the scene in every house. In fact, this is the only time you get to see it, so enjoy it while you can. Oh, I missed the thing. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, well, you guys get in there. I'm waiting to see if there would be a damn... Ugh, come on. Because in about a couple seconds, like I think at the 1 minute and 30 second mark, the police start showing up. And I've actually been able to do this before the police show up. Oh, can I do it? Yep, I did it.
All right, we've got what we came for. Everyone, get ready to leave. Why did I have to sleep in? Today of all days. Why am I so bad in the mornings? Huh? You there, in the robot! Come out now with your hands up! Took you long enough to get here. Have a little trouble getting up this morning, did we? Did your mommy have to wake you up? Well, how did you... I mean... No, of course not! Looks like you're not gonna come quietly, are you? All right then, if that's the way you want it. You've left me no choice.
Okay, so this is our boss fight for this city. First thing, okay, first of all, this is Denise Marmalade. She will run around, oh crap, she'll drive around in her car and throw bombs at you, and occasionally actually try to run you over. That's her most threatening attack. The bombs do minimum damage, but you can actually catch them, and you can actually take her car. And if you throw it at her, or the phone booth for that matter, you can actually kill her in one shot. She is very weak. I mean, she's such an easy boss. I mean, she's a beginner boss. That's why it's level 1, and that's why the payment for this area is so low. Seems this little guy's the only one that gets it. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting a little bit of extra zenny because I can end this in one shot, really. All I need to do is just throw anything. The lamppost, that little newspaper stand, the benches, the trees, it doesn't matter. I can throw any of it, so yeah. So as you saw, I could just take her car and she's completely like defenseless. I mean, she can still throw bombs and you can throw them right back at her. That's the only problem, is that she can actually throw multiple bombs. Tells you to catch. Oh. Oh, snap. I didn't think that that would actually kill her. I thought... Because in this fight, once you send the serve... Oh, shit. Hold on a minute.
Had enough? We knew you'd win, Miss Tron. Did you get everything? All right, then. Let's go home. Yes, Miss Tron. Wait, I'm not through with you yet. Yeah, whatever. Better luck next time, huh? See you around. Ugh, all the nerve. Just you wait till next time.
And there will be a next time. But, let's say that this is the first mission you do, like you don't do Nakai Desert or anything else, and you don't train up your serve bots for whatever reason. The serve bots actually surround her and start scaring her, which immobilizes her, like, and you can get a free shot in if needed. It's fun to just scare her, but I guess when they have the slingshots and stuff, it's a one shot, so careful on that, I guess. I don't know. Okay, some of the brain ratings went up. In fact, everyone's brain ratings went up. And one of them found a brain cube. The refractor ore, that's what I was looking for. It was in C2. And a letter. I don't know what the letter's for. The refractor ore, I'll show what that does in a second. What I want to do is... I want to move to the lab because... check the data on him. I'm going to give him a brain cube since I have 3 of them. And once when you increase his brain, he gets the bazooka skill, which is broken as hell. I mean, he doesn't one-shot everything in action stages, but you'll see what I mean coming up. But one thing I wanted to say about the mission we just did is that, yeah, about 140 or 130 in the timer, the police will start showing up and trying to take you out. And they're not much of a threat. They're just another means to get more Zenny. But as you can see, you can actually get 50,000 Zenny before the cops even show up. It's nice. It's nice. And also, you can not get 50,000 Zenny. If you don't get 50,000 by the time the timer's up, you just go into the boss fight, and then whatever you make, you make. So you can actually succeed without getting all of the required Zenny. So it's just recommended you get all 50,000 if possible. Just be quick and throw a whole bunch of stuff. And look out for cars because they blow up houses in one throw. Didn't mean to rant on, well, not rant, but go on thing about that. So, real quick, we'll go ahead and appraise some stuff. I want to appraise the letter. You can sell this for 100. Okay, so it's just whatever. There's the brain cubes, the refractor ore. This can be used to reduce development costs, and it helps a lot. I'm going to save that for an item much later down the road. Let's see. And go ahead and sell all this stuff. Some curry juice. Hold on to the comic because I think I can use that, just not right now. And I don't know why I keep holding on to the shells, but just in case. Alright, so with that all done, okay, so let's see. I'm gonna send you out again. D3, C2, C1. Okay, so they found the refractor ore at the casino. So let's go to Permiki Harbor. Let's see, number 13. No. I'll send him to the ruins. And I'll send you next door to it, really. Or should I? No, I'm gonna send you to Gold City. I don't think brains helps in what they find or erases the chances, but I'm just going off of a hunch. Anyways, let's go to the meat of this part, which is the dig out. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the serve bots first because in this area you only take 3 serve bots. You need to choose which serve bots will go on this mission. Currently serve bots are 2, 3, and 1. Okay, we're gonna change that just a tad. Alright, so yeah, number 1 can join, number 2 is definitely going, and I'm going to bring number 4. Next we're gonna go over the robot, because this is a brand new robot, and the last one really. For this mission, we'll be using the mini robot Finkel. It's operated basically the same way as the Gustav, except it has no weapons. As the serve bots will be the ones doing the actual work, you'll need to watch them. Use beacon bombs to get them to talk with people or explore rooms and get items. Ms. Tron will explain the other rules for this mission once we get to the ruins. And details. We're going to go on a dig in Shalakun ruins, looking for the Aurora Stones. Dig? Ruins? You mean like underground, Ms. Tron? That's right. It's as big as a city, all underground. According to the information our scout brought back, there's all sorts of traps all over the ruins, so we'll have to be extra careful. Yes, Ms. Tron, we'll be careful and stay close to you. No, you won't. I'm staying here. We'll take advantage of the other diggers there and get the treasure before them. People will trust you more because of your looks. That's why you're going and I'm not. Yes, Miss Tron. Do you think it's safe? I'm scared of caves. I'm afraid of the dark. But since I'm worried about you going alone, I'll be monitoring you using the mini robot Finkel. I'll tell you what to do using it. All you have to do is follow the beacon bombs, okay? And no goofing off. Yes, Miss Tron. It's really important on this mission to listen to what people say. If you do, it'll be easier to solve the traps and puzzles. Are you ready to go? Ready, Miss Tron. Alright. Let's begin.
Alright, let's go get that treasure! Miss Tron, how are we supposed to get it? What's it dig out? Well, first you'll have to talk to a digger and get some information. Information? Great! Okay then, follow me. I'll use the Finkel to show you where to go. The Finkel is basically controlled the same way as the Gustav. If you press the square button while holding down the R2 button, you can fire a beacon bomb. If you press just the square button, you can make the Finkel ram something. If you fire a beacon bomb, you want us to go check out whatever you fired it at, right? That's right. And if there's a person there, talk to him or her. I thought we weren't supposed to talk to strangers. Don't worry. I'll I'll be right there with you. The Finkel can make a funny sound if you press the triangle button, which will get people's attention. All right, Miss Tron. We'll do our best. Okay, do you understand everything? Here we go! Roger!
Alright, so as I said in a couple of parts, this is actually first person. Look at those polygon bats. The Finkel is more or less just a drone with a camera and a bomb shooter thing. It's even remote controlled, as you can see, I think. I'm not sure if it's the Surfbot controlling it or if she's just in the Gesellschaft controlling it through that little box, but it could also just be the feed that she's getting off of the Finkel and the Surfbot controlling its actions, which honestly I think would be really problematic. But then again, she could always be telling it which way to go, so who knows.
Look, there's a digger. Why don't you go talk to him? Okay.
You can skip that dialogue by just shooting a beacon bomb at him. And you can't go any further until you shoot one otherwise.
Hello there, Mr. Digger. It's nice weather we're having, isn't it?
Huh? Are you fellas diggers too?
Yeah. We're here looking for treasure.
Treasure? You mean the Aurora stones? You won't find any here. You'll have to go deeper into the caves.
Ooh, do you know where they are?
Not really, but I do know that there's supposed to be 3 stones here. Say, want to come along with me? We can look for them together.
Just a second. Miss Tron? He doesn't look very dependable. Well, I guess it can't hurt. Can it? Sure, we'll go with you.
Then it's settled. My name's Dance. Nice to meet you.
We're Surfbots. Nice to meet you.
So you fire another one at him, you can talk to him and get a little bit of extra dialogue.
I get so excited whenever I think about dig-outs. Don't you?
But they don't really have anything interesting to say.
I've heard stories that a lot of people are looking for the stones. Nothing like a little competition.
I believe you at least get 2 to 3 different lines.
These caves have only recently been discovered. Who knows what we might run into here?
And you don't talk back either, so I wouldn't recommend bothering people too much, but you can also do this. Just whack them with the thing. You scan this.
Miss Tron, it looks like there was a cave in here. You're right. We need something that can drill a hole if we want to keep going on.
A cave-in, huh? I've got just the thing. This, my ultra dynamite. If we use this...
What? Dynamite? Is he crazy? He'll bring the whole cave down on top of us. Wait! Stop! Don't!
Huh? Why? My ultra dynamite's pretty amazing stuff.
Let's leave for now. I'll make a drilling machine and we can come back later, all right? Let's come back later, all right, Mr. Dance?
All right, if you say so. I really wanted to use my dynamite.
I believe this is actually skippable, so if you just want to ignore that, you can. I'm just going to go over the basics, like if anybody was to play for the first time. Like this, for example.
Huh? It's empty.
Someone must have gotten here and opened it before us.
Does that mean there's no treasure left anywhere?
Not necessarily. Not all treasure boxes are this easy to open. Some treasure boxes are locked, which means you can't open them without the key.
A key, huh? But that means we have to find the key first.
on, let's keep moving.
Yes, Mr. Dance.
And I think this is the only treasure chest that's actually unlocked automatically. Every other one is locked, and you'll see what a locked one looks like soon. By the way, he never really follows you. It's just every time there's some dialogue, he'll just appear. Careful of those. I think they're stalactites. I don't remember which ones are on the ceiling. Stalactites or stalagmites. I think it's tights. I don't even know why they have two different names. It's retarded, in my opinion.
Miss Tron, we can't go any further. There's something really painful looking in the way. It's a trap. There's probably plenty of them down here.
It's a trap. If you can't get past this, then you're not worthy of being called a digger. Traps like these usually have an off switch somewhere around them.
A switch? Where?
Let's see. Switch. There it is. If we push that blue switch, the trap should stop. Just you watch. That hurt. This is a nasty trap. Say, maybe you should push the switch instead. Yeah, that's it. Why don't you try?
I knew he was no good. I guess it's up to you guys then. Yes, Miss Tron. Listen carefully. I'll shoot a beacon bomb over there. You go push the switch, all right? But Miss Tron, what happens if we get hit by the big ball? Don't worry. I'll time it just right so that you won't. But if I don't, well... But if you don't? Well, we'll see what happens. Don't worry, it won't hurt that much. But Miss Tron! Quiet! Stop your whining! Do you understand what you have to do? Yes, Miss Tron?
I would be a dick and just say no, but the thing is, if it hasn't caught on already, this is a very,
Good job! Now we can get through! Thank you, Miss Tron.
Way to go! You did it! Now you know how to deal with traps, right?
This is going to be a long day.
this is very, very dialogue heavy. You're mainly just listening to cutscenes, or not cutscenes, just dialogue back and forth with other people, or amongst yourselves. It's what drags out the cave level the most, and they're really probably the most boring part of this game. Although back in the day, I thought this was like the best part.
Miss Tron, we found 800 zenny. We're rich. Well, it's good you found some money. Keep it up. We need to get all the money we can. Yes, Miss Tron.
Well, best in terms of, well, next to the action missions themselves, but at the same time, I had my own favoritism of these because I actually managed to beat all of the cave missions first before I could beat the action stages and the puzzle stages. The puzzle stages were always just the hardest thing for me, and they are still quite challenging, at least to me anyways. But the action stages I eventually were able to get past with enough determination. Here we have another trap.
Whoa, wait! It's a fire trap!
Fire!
Yep, if you're not careful, you'll be burned to a crisp.
I see. Well, what should we do?
Well, this trap should also have a switch that deactivates it somewhere.
So all we have to do is find it and push it, right?
That's right. But what are you standing around for? Let's look for that switch.
Yes, sir! Find the switch!
So the switch is actually over here, tucked away. If you get close enough, it'll start catching fire. The trap will, but if they approach it, it won't, you know, activate for whatever reason.
That takes care of that. Good job, boys.
Looks like you found it. Way to go, fellas. I knew you'd make good diggers.
They make good diggers, but I wonder about him.
What was I saying before? It was about how I was able to pass these before the others, and I was going, yeah, the puzzle stages were hard. I had my trouble with the action stages, specifically mission 1 past level 1. This is a locked chest.
Miss Tron, look! It's a treasure box, but it's locked. We can't open it unless we find the key.
That's actually just regular dialogue. Like no matter what, you always hear that. But I'll just play it once, just cause. And there's the key. Oops.
Hey, what's this?
That's a card key for a treasure box. Good job. This means you can open locked treasure boxes now.
Really? Yay! That sounds like fun! Listen to me. That's really important. Don't lose it, all right? Yes, Miss Tron. We'll take good care of it.
So now I can go and open that treasure box over here. I'll show the dialogue for that, but afterwards, any dialogue I have for treasure boxes and stuff, I'm just going to skip. Same thing with other repetitive dialogue.
Miss Tron, look! It's a treasure box. Can we use the card key to open it?
No.
All right, we won't.
Okay, that's actually the first time I ever said no.
All right, here we go.
It will be nice to say no later on, though.
Miss Tron, look at what was inside. An e-bottle, number 1. Great! I can use it to recharge the Finkel's energy. Take good care of it. Yes, Miss Tron.
So here we find e-bottles, e-bottle number 1. We'll also be able to find e-bottles 2 and 3 as well, but that'll be in later levels. Just thought I might as well add that. Let's see. I was talking about the action stages. Yeah, over time I was able to pass those, but only recently was I able to pass the puzzle ones. That's why I said they're actually still pretty tough. New person.
Hello there.
Huh? Don't bother me. I'm trying to disarm this trap and I'm not in a good mood right now.
Trap? What kind of trap?
It's up ahead. You get close and rocks start to fall from the ceiling. You can't get through.
Why don't you push the switch? That's how you turn traps off.
Huh? I know that. What do you think I am, some kind of idiot? You trying to pick a fight or something?
No, we're sorry. Boy, she's got a temper. Better be careful and stay on her good side.
I know the switch is around here somewhere, but I can't get close to it because of the trap.
Sounds like you got a problem.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. Ooh, go on. Yeah, leave me alone.
Yes, ma'am.
God damn, I love the serve bots. Sounds like you got a problem. Fucking smart asses, I love them. I want to get a plushie of a serve bot, but I can never find one. I know that there's like the serve bot hats and stuff, but still. Anyways, for this trap, you want to get this close because you can get past those two, but this one, the rocks fall too fast for you to pass through. And don't worry about the surf bots getting hurt because they can take the damage. I actually got lucky with the first trap, the steel ball one, because
Miss Tron, look! We found a card.
yeah.
Good. Be careful not to lose it. We will.
We'll be careful to lose it, Miss Tron. But like I was saying, I actually got lucky because usually I keep getting them hit with that trap, so that was a stroke of luck. And no, you can't time the Finkel to go past that trap. If you try, you're just gonna get hit.
Miss Tron, look! It's a treasure box. Can we use the card key to open it? All right, here we go.
I don't know why I didn't skip that. I'm just skipping ahead.
Another key, I think, inside.
Hey, that's a room key. You can use it to open locked doors.
Really? You mean it's important? Of course it's important. You better not lose it, or you'll all be in a lot of trouble. Yes, Miss Tron.
I don't know why it's called a room key when it basically just, you know, it only opens one door, and that's like the boss. It's the boss key, really.
What's that? You say you cleared the trap? Well, what was on the other side?
A card key for a treasure box.
A card key? So that's what they was hiding. You lads be pretty good diggers, eh?
I'll get it next time.
If you talk to her more, she'll tell you her name. Her name's Maud. It's something that you might want to keep in mind because you're going to be tested on your knowledge of who's who in these areas in the next stage, so keep that in mind. Gonna bust these. Careful with some of these barrels because they will explode sometimes. Like that. And you'll take a decent chunk of damage. Some writing.
Look, there's some writing here.
Whoa! This is one of Uncle Dig's tips.
What's that?
There's this really old, really famous digger named Dig, see? He writes messages for other diggers whenever he's exploring, to help them out.
So, what's it say? What does it say?
Let's take a look. Let's see. Uncle Dig's tips.
In these caves, it appears there is another treasure besides the Aurora Stones. It's called the Elixir of Youth. There's very little data, but it has something to do with collecting 3 kinds of crystals. And one of those crystals is in this room.
Elixir of youth? What's that supposed to be?
This is incredible. He must be talking about the secret of eternal youth. There's the crystal.
What should we do, Miss Tron? Well, we might as well pick one up and take it back with us. All right, we'll get one.
I got one too. Wow, the elixir of youth. I have to find the other 2 crystals.
Something tells me he'll need our help. Oh well, come on, let's go. Yes, Miss Tron.
I mean, if you were to cut out, like, at least half of the dialogue, this whole thing would go by so much faster. Alright, so these are like Sentry Reaver bots or something, I don't know. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to wait to getting to this area because of number 2. Oh crap. I didn't expect him to throw anything, but that bazooka will kill them in an instant. And that's not the only reason why I brought number 2 and waited to get his brains up.
bet if it's pushed, this trap will deactivate.
This is the only trap in the
Phew,
in
it's
these
stuck.
caves.
Good. I was starting to get dizzy. Miss Tron, are you all right? I'm fine. Just a little surprised is all. Come on, let's keep going.
Like, after this, you'll never see that trap again, but the other traps, they do make a return later on. Just not very frequent. And here is the end of the ruins.
Miss Tron, the door's locked. Should we use the room key to open it?
No, let's not use
Yes, use the key. I wonder what's inside.
it. I forgot you don't get a choice to say no about the room key. Every time I keep thinking that there's a choice, but there really isn't. They always just automatically open it. But whatever.
It's open.
All right, let's go.
Wait.
Huh? Who are you?
My name is Pearl. I'm looking for the Aurora Stones. Are you? Yes, we are too. Shh, be quiet. She's kind of suspicious looking.
You bet we are.
I think one of them is inside this room, but
What? Inside here? Well then, what are we waiting for?
huh? Wait.
We're in trouble. It's a Reaver bot. It's a big one. I mean really big.
Can I finish now? I was going to tell you that it sounds like there might be a Reaver bot in there. This guy is even dumber than he looks. Come on, you guys, let's go! Miss Tron, do we have to? What if it's a really big and scary Reaver bot? We don't like Reaver bots. What are you saying? We can't give up after coming this far. The treasure we've been looking for is in there. If you don't get it, I'll have to punish you all. Yes, Miss Tron.
What's weird, and I don't mean to be pervish, but then again, oh wow. This is a weird angle. I didn't think I could get this angle. That's weird. But she has jiggle physics, and this is a PS1 game where there's like no distinct round shapes. Everybody's all blocky, so it's really odd. In fact, no, I have no idea. It's like they move the pixels. That way it gives her physics, and it's just so odd. Anyways, here's the boss.
Look at the size of it. We can't beat that. Don't give up yet. Think. Use your heads. Look, see those fire traps all over the floor? You can use those to beat it. We're scared, Miss Tron. Oh, be quiet. Stop whining. Go get that Reaver bot.
If I was in the Gustav, this would be easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and oh, I got it. I'm just showing you how you should normally do this, and that's oh god, and that's just using the fire traps. Now to cheese this boss, you target him. Because now the Surfbots can actually attack, they will just make him their bitch. Screw the fire traps. I would say that that's how you can beat all the bosses in this level, like all 3 levels, but it really isn't. But it's a good way to cheese this guy, since I consider him like the second hardest thing. Or hell, the hardest of the 3 bosses. Spoilers, there's 3 bosses.
We did it! Look! It's a giant refractor! So this is an Aurora Stone. From the color and size, it's probably worth 50,000 zenny. We'll have to keep looking. I bet there's even bigger and better stuff in here. That's really pretty. Would you let me take care of that for you? Sure. Gee, thanks. That's nice of you. What are you doing? Oh, what am I supposed to do with you? Don't give that to her. Put it away somewhere safe. Yes, Miss Tron. I'm sorry, but we can't let you have it. It's all right. I was just, asking, that's all. Oh, hat.
Well, it looks like you beat me to it this time, my little friends. But just you wait and see. I'll get the next one. For my name isn't Dance.
He just never learns, does he? All right, we've got what we came for. Let's get back to the Gesellschaft. Roger!
So yeah, if you were to just cut out most of the dialogue, these levels will only take about 10 minutes maybe. And I would do it, but, you know. So anyways, you come back and you'll most likely just be getting these 2 items. You can only sell the E-bottles. I don't think you can sell the crystals, and if you can, you really shouldn't. Not yet anyways. And number 1's brains went up. Number 4's went up to 3. And let's see, I got a hat, another hat, and E-bottle number 2. Interesting. And construction on the deck is finished. So with that done, let's see, we have 500. That's a good amount. I don't think there's anything I can do right now. So I think what I will do is on the next part, I'm probably gonna head back to the Nakai Desert and bring the Bonne bazooka with us and explore another route now that we can make more routes, and see what we can do from there. And that'll be in the next part, because I've overstayed my welcome here thanks to the dig out. Oh well. I will see you guys next time.